what's going on, everyone? This is Ishan Kadaru, aka Push for Life, and today we're going to be doing the very first episode of Adventures in Ableton, which is my new series. The idea behind Adventures in Ableton is I want to just explore all kinds of different things within the Ableton ecosystem, so to speak. For the first episode, I want to do what I like to call imaginary soundtracks. So I'm just sort of imagining I'm composing a soundtrack or a piece of a soundtrack for a film, and yeah, just letting my imagination just run with it and seeing what happens. So I'm actually just starting completely from scratch. As you can see here in my Ableton template, I already have instrumentation set up. So I'll just go through this really quickly. On track 1, I have the Niels Fram Noir piano. On track 2, I have Native Instruments upright bass from the Contact library. Then I have a Rhodes from Arturia on track 3. On track 4, I have Wavetable by Ableton. On track 5, I have Prism, which is a Reactor synth, which I'm absolutely completely in love with. On track 6, I have Haunted Spaces by Sonic Couture. I'm a really big fan of their stuff. I don't have that much of it, but I really love this sound library. On track number 7, I have Superior Drummer, and this is a library called Roots with Sticks. I have that loaded up. Beautiful sound library. I love playing this sound library. And on track 8, I have the Max for Live DS drum rack, which is sort of like a drum synthesis drum rack with all, snares and claps and all kinds of stuff on here. And that's sort of to give it an electro sound. So this is sort of my sound palette that I want to be working with at first. I'll probably change it up once we get into the series. But for now, I thought it'd be nice just to have a limited sound palette that does have infinite possibilities. So over here, before I forget, on the return tracks, I have Echo, which is an Ableton Live 10 Suite plugin. It's a delay, basically, and I really love the different sounds you can get out of it. And on the B send, I have the Convolution Reverb Pro, which I really love as well. And that really is it for now. This is just sort of my basic sound palette. The reason I chose 8 tracks is because I have 8 tracks, at any given time here on the Ableton Push, so I can just sort of switch through all of the different tracks here. I also have the Novation Launch Control XL here, and the reason I've started using this is because it gives me instant access to the faders, and I've got the sends A and B up here and panning, and I can also use this just to select the different tracks, so I can just switch through it here. And as you can see on the push, it's selecting all of the tracks, which I could do up here as well, but this is nice to just have this extra option. And then over here, which I think is really cool, is I've got it on mutes right now, so I can, let me just close this. I can mute tracks, as you can see on the screen, but if I click over here, I can also solo different tracks. So that's my basic setup for this series. All right, so now let's just get right into it and just start composing. I don't have any idea of what I'm going to do right now. So yeah, this should be interesting. I think I'm going to start off with an electro drum kit loop. So I'm just going to select my electro drums. These are the different sounds. And let me see, what tempo? I guess what I like to do is I like to just sort of feel a beat in my head. All right, so let me just set up the tempo. Okay, so I've got the tempo selected. Unfortunately, the way I have the audio routed right now, here's my headphone mix. I have the click going to my headphone mix, and it isn't going into the output that you're hearing right now. So you're not going to hear the click, but you'll hear me doing what it is I do with the instruments. Okay, so I'm just going to go with something really simple to start off with. Let me do this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just going to quantize this right now, and I like to quantize it not at 100%, but below that to keep this sort of human feeling. So I think I'm just going to quantize it at 80%, and it's just eighth notes. So I'm going to put that on eighth notes. There we go, 79%. That's close enough. Okay. So I'm just going to mess around with the sound of the kick, see if I can get something that I like a little more. Okay, just putting in some overdrive. I'm going to put the decay back down a little. Put the attack up so you don't have that sort of hard kick sound at the beginning, sort of sliding in there. Okay, I like that. Just as a starting point, I can always change it again. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate that. And let's see. Let me just close this down. Take this down a little so we have a little more space on the screen. I think now I'm going to put in some hi-hats. Just going to play around with the sound a little. Take the decay down. Actually, I think I'm going to play around with the decay. I like that. Okay. There we go. Now these are 16th notes, so I'm going to have to change that up a little. Okay, that's sounding pretty good. I think I'm going to quantize it again at 80. Now there's one note in there at the very beginning. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to bring this very final one down. There we go. Okay, so that's just like a basic drum pattern. Now I'm going to go over to the piano, switch that on over here. So let me just mess around and see what I come up with to this beat. So right now I'm in E minor. This idea ready? what I'll usually do is I'll just sort of play around. When I have a basic idea, just explore different possibilities before I start recording, just in case there's some notes in there that I discover that I wasn't aware of that kind of change the feel a little. So that's what I'm just going to be doing right now. Like that. So even though you can't hear it, I've got the metronome on just to stay in time. So let me go for it. Here we go. I didn't hit the button right there to start looping because it would have messed up what I was playing. So I'm just going to go in there right now and correct that. Actually, I think it did it automatically. So let's just listen back to that real quick. Just going to quantize it to 16th notes. Good. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to go in here to the foot pedal, the whole pedal. Just double check. I feel like at the beginning, yeah, there's some weird trigger stuff going on here. So let me just go in and correct that. Just check these ones. Be there, so I'm just going to edit those out. Pedal doing some weird double trigger stuff. But that's okay, we can go in and edit it out. That's the great thing about Ableton. Just double check this one. I think I might have to correct that, but I'll do that later. Okay, so that's a nice beginning part. So come up with a second part. Yeah, so what I want to do now is I have this part. And now I need to think about where I want to go from there. So I'm thinking something like this. I usually like going there. Yeah. So we'll go here. All right, so that means I need to mess around. Switch that one off. So yeah, I'm going to mess around with this sort of B section right now. So I'll be going from this. Change. next section. All right, so let me zone in on this part again. Kind of where I want to end up, but how I got there still doesn't feel right. Okay. So in a case like this, I'm not quite there yet, but what I find happens is once I hit the record button, something kicks in, I know I'm being recorded, and then that extra kick of adrenaline will usually just push me over the edge, and I'll most likely come up with something that I like. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm just going to mess around, and when I feel comfortable, I'm going to record that B section. Right here, I went on one bar too long, so I'm just going to switch that up. Quantize it. Okay, I can already hear some envelopes not triggering properly. Now I feel like there is a place where that needs to go after that. So let me just switch that off for the moment. And now we have to find out where we want to go from there. So let's play around. Kind of like that, actually. That's the next part. Yeah, something like that maybe. So, where were we? All right. Okay, here we go. Let's just go for 1, 2. Whoops. Kind of made a bunch of mistakes in there whilst I was playing because I just sort of winged it, which I'll do occasionally because I always know I can go back in and edit it. So let's go and check this out. I went to bar too long, so that's something we'll need to correct straight away. And yeah, let's just give that a listen. Actually, I think I'll quickly just quantize it. So at the very end, these, oops, turn off that pen. Get rid of them. Just hear it from here. Maybe just put this up here. For the moment. Just opening up the plugin at the moment. Yeah, I definitely need to change the ending there. But I wanted to maybe see if I can turn up the piano a little more within the plugin. Plugin right here. Where are we at here? Yeah. Okay, let me just go in here and check this out. So I think these two need to go. That one. Ah, this is what it is. I think these are clashing. This one as well. I think I'm going to leave it like that, but there is definitely something that's still annoying me, but I feel like it's time to move on a little. As far as this tutorial is concerned, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be coming back with some more tutorials soon, so make sure to like and subscribe, the usual sort of stuff. If you have any comments about any particular part in the song, please timestamp it and leave a comment if you like it, if you don't, if you have any other suggestions that you might think I might be interested in. I'm always open to suggestions, so feel free to comment all you like, and I shall be back soon with another tutorial. All the best for now. Take it easy. Peace. That sounds like a nice starting point. notes are really good.